The Whistler. A new day began. Thankful it was Friday, Jan arrived early and walked into the hangar and inhaled the smell of jet fuel. She went over to her toolbox and leaned on it, staring at the disassembled aircraft sitting in front of her. Jan loved her job as an airplane mechanic, taking pride in her work. She listened to the birds chirping in the crossbeams, but when she heard the voices, her smile disappeared. Her co-workers were difficult to be around because of their behaviors. Jan took a moment to pray before they entered. God, I know change starts with me. I try to come to work with a positive attitude and the fruits of the Spirit. Lord, please help me be better than I was yesterday. In your name I pray. Amen. It was at that moment that she heard a tune being whistled. Richard, whom she aptly nicknamed the Whistler, had arrived. Lord, why can't I be more like him? He seems to have a peace about him all the time. I wish I could be more like him. Throughout the day, Jan covertly watched him. He chuckled as he interacted with others and went about his work. Richard was approaching retirement in a couple of years and admitted that he needed this job to keep him occupied and out of his wife's way. It wasn't for the money. Jan searched her heart to understand the difference between Richard and herself. He was subjected to the same leadership, environment, and peers. What makes him pleasant to be around in an unpleasant place? How does he maintain his peace when I don't? Jan realized that it all boiled down to his attitude. He recognized the situation he was in and chose to rise above the unpleasantness. It was a challenge that he had met and overcome, but one Jan still struggled with. What about you? What do you do when you are placed in a position that is uncomfortable? How about when your faith is tested, as you see people who claim to be Christians behaving in an ungodly manner? Philippians 4:8. Finally, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good repute, if there is any excellence, and if anything worthy of praise, dwell on these things. Take a moment to think how you can impact the people in your daily routine. Write it out. Sarah. The words rang in her ears, and in an instant, Sarah was awake. Car, accident, hospital, her son Steve, surgery, midnight. It was a phone call no parent wanted to receive. Uncontrollable tears spilled down her cheeks. Panic. Don't panic. Absent-mindedly, she stumbled to the closet, grabbed random clothes, and dressed. On her way out the door, she snatched her purse and the Bible lying next to it. The cool night air brushed her face, and the stars lit the path to her car. She backed out of the driveway and headed for the hospital, praying, God, please save my son. Please be with a surgeon operating on him. Help him to have steady hands and be able to fix what's wrong. An eerie quietness surrounded her as she walked to the automatic doors and entered the lobby of the emergency room. A television replayed the world news. Sarah asked a volunteer behind a desk about the location of the intensive care unit and followed the directions she received. Sarah passed through the large double doors and stopped when she saw her nemesis. She hated the fact that after 10 years, her ex-mother-in-law still affected her. Negative thoughts and feelings surfaced, which made Sarah question herself. She had thought she had forgiven Emily and her ex-husband Mike for what they had put her and the kids through. But had she? Slouched on the vinyl sofa, the old woman looked harmless, but it was her lying, bitter tongue that Sarah was wary of.